All right, guys, listen up. Are you ready for an adventure? We're about to dive deep into the heart of Texas, a state that's bigger than life itself. We're talking wide open spaces, big cities with even bigger personalities, and a whole lot of history. This isn't just another list, all right? This is a call to action. We're about to drop some serious travel knowledge on you, a curated selection of the absolute must-visit cities in the great state of Texas. Get your notebooks ready, because you're going to want to write this down. We're talking about legendary cities like Austin, the live music capital of the world, and San Antonio, where history literally comes to life. Get ready to experience the energy of Dallas, the space exploration legacy of Houston, and the cowboy culture of Fort Worth. And that's just the beginning. We're going off the beaten path too, exploring hidden gems and uncovering the unique character of each and every city. So buckle up, grab your boots, and get ready to experience the Lone Star State like never before. Let's do this! First up, we're kicking things off in Austin, the heart and soul of Texas. This city is a whirlwind of creativity, buzzing with a youthful energy that's contagious.
You know, Austin has this saying, keep Austin weird, and trust me, that's not just a catchy slogan, it's a way of life. From the street art that pops up on every corner to the eclectic mix of food trucks and vintage shops, Austin is a city that embraces its individuality. It's a place where you can be yourself, no matter how quirky or unconventional you might be.
And let's not forget the music. Austin is the live music capital of the world for a reason. Every night of the week, you can find incredible live performances from up-and-coming artists to legendary musicians. Whether you're into indie rock, blues, country, or anything in between, Austin has a stage waiting for you.
But there's more to Austin than just its quirky side. It's also a city steeped in history, home to the majestic Texas State Capitol and the University of Texas at Austin, one of the largest universities in the country. So yeah, Austin's got it all: history, culture, music, and a whole lot of heart.
Now, no trip to Austin would be complete without a visit to the Texas State Capitol. This iconic building, with its towering dome and stunning architecture, is a symbol of Texas pride. Stepping inside is like taking a step back in time. You can practically feel the history echoing through the halls.
The Capitol is home to the Texas legislature, and you can often catch a glimpse of lawmakers hard at work. But even if politics isn't your thing, the building itself is worth the visit. The level of detail in the architecture is incredible, from the intricate carvings to the massive chandeliers. Make sure to take a walk around the grounds too. The Capitol sits on a sprawling lawn dotted with monuments and statues commemorating important figures and events in Texas history.
And here's a pro tip. If you're lucky enough to be in Austin during the spring, you'll catch the bluebonnets in full bloom around the Capitol. Trust me, it's a sight you won't soon forget. It's like the entire city is blanketed in a sea of blue.
All right, let's talk about something that truly captures the spirit of Austin South by Southwest, or SXSW as it's better known. Imagine a massive festival that takes over the entire city, a melting pot of film, music, technology, and interactive media. It's a whirlwind of creativity, a place where groundbreaking ideas are born and the future of, well, everything is being shaped.
For about 10 days every March, Austin transforms into a global stage, attracting the brightest minds and biggest names in tech, film, and music. You've got filmmakers premiering their latest projects, musicians rocking out to massive crowds, and tech innovators showcasing cutting-edge technology. It's a sensory overload in the best possible way.
But SSSW isn't just for industry insiders. The festival also offers a ton of free events, from outdoor concerts to film screenings, so you can soak up the energy even if you don't have a badge. If you're looking for an experience that's both inspiring and entertaining, put SXSW on your bucket list.
Now, I know we've been talking a lot about the hustle and bustle of Austin, but there's another side to this city, a more laid-back vibe that you don't want to miss. Escape the city buzz and head to Zilker Park, a sprawling green space right in the heart of Austin. You can spend the day lounging by the water, kayaking on Lady Bird Lake, or taking a dip in the natural spring-fed Barton Springs pool. It's the perfect place to unwind and soak up some Texas sunshine.
And if you're feeling adventurous, rent a bike and explore the Barton Creek Greenbelt, a network of trails that wind through the Texas Hill Country. And when it's time to refuel, Austin's food scene won't disappoint. From mouth-watering barbecue to innovative food trucks, there's something to satisfy every craving. Don't leave without trying some authentic Texas barbecue. The brisket is legendary. And for a sweet treat, grab a scoop of ice cream at Amy's Ice Creams, a local institution.
So whether you're a music lover, a history buff, or just looking for a city with a whole lot of character, Austin is calling your name. All right, from the cool vibes of Austin, we're heading south to San Antonio, a city where history isn't just something you read about in textbooks, it's all around you. San Antonio is a city that wears its history on its sleeve, and nowhere is that more evident than at the Alamo. This iconic mission, the site of the legendary Battle of the Alamo, is a powerful symbol of Texan courage and determination.
Walking through the Alamo, you can practically feel the weight of history, imagining the bravery of those who fought and fell within its walls. But San Antonio's history goes far beyond the Alamo. This city, founded in 1718, is a melting pot of cultures with Spanish, Mexican, and Texan influences all blending together to create something truly unique. You can explore this rich history at the Spanish Governor's Palace, a beautifully preserved example of Spanish colonial architecture, or wander through the colorful streets of La Vilita, San Antonio's original neighborhood dating back to the 1700s.
Now, if you want to experience the true spirit of San Antonio, you have to be there for Fiesta San Antonio. This 10-day extravaganza is a celebration of all things San Antonio, with parades, parties, and events taking place throughout the city. Imagine a citywide party, with streets decked out in vibrant colors, the air filled with music and laughter, and everyone, and I mean everyone, caught up in the celebratory spirit.
One of the highlights of Fiesta is the Battle of Flowers Parade, a tradition dating back to 1891. It's a spectacle of colorful floats, marching bands, and elaborate costumes, a true testament to the city's creativity and love for a good time. But Fiesta is more than just a party. It's a chance to experience the heart and soul of San Antonio. It's a time when the entire city comes together to celebrate its history, its culture, and its people.
All right, let's take a break from the festivities and explore another side of San Antonio, a more tranquil side. The River Walk, also known as Paseo del Rio, is a network of walkways lining the banks of the San Antonio River, one level below the city streets. It's like stepping into another world, a world of cobblestone paths, lush greenery, and the gentle sound of flowing water. It's the perfect escape from the hustle and bustle of the city above.
You can stroll along the river walk, stopping to admire the beautiful architecture, enjoy a meal at one of the many restaurants, or take a leisurely boat tour. And as the sun sets, the river walk transforms into a magical setting, with twinkling lights reflecting off the water. It's the perfect place for a romantic evening stroll or a nightcap at one of the riverside bars. Trust me, the Riverwalk is an experience you won't want to miss.
Now, while the Alamo and the Riverwalk are must-sees, San Antonio has so much more to offer beyond the typical tourist trail. For a taste of authentic San Antonio, head to Market Square, also known as El Mercado. It's a vibrant marketplace, a feast for the senses, with colorful stalls selling everything from traditional Mexican crafts and souvenirs to delicious street food.
You can find hand-painted pottery, intricate silver jewelry, leather goods, and so much more. And when it's time for a break, grab a seat at one of the many food stalls and sample some authentic Mexican cuisine. From sizzling fajitas to savory tamales, your taste buds will thank you.
And if you're looking for a more immersive cultural experience, check out the Pearl District. This revitalized industrial area is now a hub of creativity, with art galleries, independent boutiques, and some of the city's best restaurants. San Antonio is a city that surprises you at every turn, so get out there and explore. All right, we're on to number 3, Dallas.
Now Dallas, this city is all about ambition, all about that hustle. And trust me, you feel it the second you set foot in this town. It's in the air, you know, it's electric. Dallas was built by dreamers, by people who swung for the fences, and that energy is contagious. It's a city that thrives on making things happen, on pushing boundaries. You've got entrepreneurs, artists, musicians, all drawn to this energy, this vibe that Dallas throws off.
And hey, let's not forget, Dallas is a city that knows how to do things in style. Whether it's fashion, food, or just the way they walk down the street, there's a certain swagger, a certain confidence that's impossible to ignore. You can't help but get swept up in it.
So if you're looking for a city that's going to inspire you, that's going to push you to chase your own dreams, then Dallas needs to be on your list. Trust me, this city will light a fire under you.
Now, don't let the whole hustle and bustle thing fool you. Dallas isn't all about business. The city's got a surprisingly vibrant arts and culture scene. I'm talking world-class museums, stunning performance venues, and a creative energy that's off the charts.
First up, you gotta check out the Dallas Arts District. It's the largest contiguous urban arts district in the entire U.S. Yeah, you heard that right, the entire U.S. We're talking theaters, opera houses, museums, all packed into this one walkable area.
And then there's the Dallas Museum of Art, one of the biggest and best in the country. I'm talking Picasso's, Monet's, the whole shebang. It's the kind of place you can get lost in for hours, just soaking up all that creativity.
But Dallas isn't just about high art, you know? The city's got this cool underground art scene too. You've got street art, independent galleries, and this raw, unfiltered energy that's just so refreshing.
Okay, let's talk about the State Fair of Texas. This ain't your average county fair, all right? This is Texas-sized fun. And I mean that in every sense of the word. We're talking fried food galore, carnival rides that'll make your head spin, and enough live music to satisfy any music lover. It's a celebration of all things Texas, and it's an experience you won't forget.
And of course, no trip to the State Fair is complete without a selfie with Big Tex, the giant cowboy that's become synonymous with the fair. He's like 55 feet tall, man. It's wild.
But the State Fair is more than just a good time. It's also a major part of Dallas's history and culture. It brings people together from all walks of life, and it really showcases the heart and soul of this city.
Look, I know what you're thinking, Dallas, Texas. It's all cowboys and steakhouses, right? Well, yeah, you can find those here, and they're pretty darn good. But Dallas is so much more than that, and that's what makes it so cool.
One of my favorite things about Dallas is the diversity. It's a melting pot of cultures, and you feel that in the food, the music, the people. You can be walking down the street and hear a dozen languages being spoken around you.
And speaking of food, Dallas has got a seriously impressive culinary scene. Forget the stereotypes. You can find anything here. From Michelin star restaurants to hole-in-the-wall gems, Dallas has something for every taste bud and every budget.
And the best part is, Dallas is constantly evolving. There's always something new popping up, some new restaurant to try, some new neighborhood to explore. It's a city that never stops moving, never stops surprising you.
All right, we're moving on to number 4, and we're headed down south to Houston.
Now, Houston is a city that just grabs you. It's got this energy, this pulse that's impossible to ignore. It's a city that's constantly moving, constantly growing, constantly reinventing itself. You know, Houston is a city built on ambition, on innovation. It's a place where people go to dream big, to make things happen, and that spirit is contagious. You can't help but feel inspired when you're in Houston.
And let's not forget, Houston is a melting pot of cultures. You've got people from all over the world coming together, bringing their own unique flavors and traditions. It's a city that embraces diversity, that celebrates what makes each of us unique.
So if you're looking for a city that's alive, that's buzzing with creativity and opportunity, then Houston needs to be on your radar. Trust me, this city will leave its mark on you.
All right, let's talk about the Space Center Houston. I mean, it's not every day you get to walk among rockets and touch moon rocks, right? This place is a must-visit for anyone, even if you're not a space geek. It's just mind-blowing to see the sheer scale of it all, to imagine humans launching into space from this very spot.
You can check out the astronaut training facility, see real spacecraft up close, and even experience what it feels like to launch into orbit in a simulator. It's the closest most of us will ever get to being an astronaut.
But Houston isn't all about rockets and spaceships. It's also a city with a whole lot of Southern charm. You've got beautiful parks, historic neighborhoods, and a laid-back vibe that makes you feel right at home.
Take a stroll through Herman Park, visit the Houston Zoo, or catch a show at the Miller Outdoor Theater. There's something for everyone in Houston, whether you're looking for adventure or just a relaxing day out.
Now, if you're lucky enough to be in Houston during the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, get ready for an experience. I'm talking barbecue cook-offs, livestock shows, and some of the biggest names in country music performing live. The energy at the rodeo is electric, man. It's like the whole city comes alive for this thing.
You've got cowboys and cowgirls showing off their skills, carnival rides, and enough fried food to satisfy any craving.
But the rodeo is more than just a good time. It's also a major part of Houston's culture and heritage. It celebrates the city's agricultural roots and brings people together from all walks of life.
And hey, even if you're not into rodeos, the concerts alone are worth the price of admission. We're talking legends like George Strait, Garth Brooks, and Taylor Swift. It's the ultimate Texas experience.
Okay, let's talk about the museum district. This place is a cultural goldmine with something like 20 museums all within walking distance of each other. You've got art museums, science museums, history museums, you name it. And the best part is, many of them are free on certain days of the week. So even if you're on a budget, you can still soak up some culture.
And hey, don't forget to check out the street art scene in Houston. From massive murals to hidden gems tucked away in alleyways, Houston street art is a testament to the city's creativity and its rebellious spirit. It's like walking through an outdoor art gallery.
But Houston's cultural scene goes beyond museums and murals. You've got a thriving theater district, live music venues showcasing every genre imaginable, and a culinary scene that's exploding with flavor.
All right, folks, we're moseying on down to number 5 on our list, and we're landing in Fort Worth.
Now, Fort Worth is a city that wears its cowboy boots proudly. It's a place where the spirit of the Wild West is still alive and kicking, where you can practically hear the echoes of cattle drives and saloon music in the air. But don't let the whole cowboy thing fool you. Fort Worth is a city with a modern edge, a vibrant arts and culture scene, and a whole lot of heart.
It's a place where you can two-step the night away, indulge in some finger-licking barbecue, and experience the true meaning of Southern hospitality.
So saddle up, partners, and get ready to explore a city that's as charming as it is exciting. Fort Worth is a place where you can embrace your inner cowboy, discover hidden gems, and create memories that'll last a lifetime.
Now, when you're in Fort Worth, a visit to the stockyards is non-negotiable. It's like stepping back in time to the days of cattle drives and cowboys. You've got cobblestone streets, wooden boardwalks, and saloons that look like they haven't changed a bit since the 1800s.
You can catch a cattle drive twice a day, watch real-life cowboys demonstrate their skills, and even hop on a horse-drawn carriage for a tour of the area. It's an experience that'll transport you straight back to the Wild West.
And hey, don't forget to grab a bite to eat while you're there. The Stockyards is home to some of the best barbecue joints in Texas, so come hungry and be prepared to feast on some seriously good grub.
But the Stockyards is more than just a tourist attraction. It's a living, breathing testament to Fort Worth's history and heritage. A place where the spirit of the Wild West is still alive and well.
All right, speaking of cowboy culture, let's talk about the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. This ain't your average rodeo, folks. This is a Texas-sized celebration of all things Western, and it's an experience you won't want to miss.
We're talking world-class rodeo events, livestock shows, live music concerts, and enough carnival food to satisfy even the biggest appetites. It's like the State Fair of Texas, but with a whole lot more cowboy hats.
And let me tell you, the energy at the rodeo is electric. You've got cowboys and cowgirls risking it all for glory, the crowd roaring with excitement, and an atmosphere that's just pure fun.
But the rodeo is more than just entertainment. It's a chance to experience the heart and soul of Fort Worth, to witness the traditions and values that have shaped this city for generations.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Fort Worth, it's all cowboys and rodeos, right? Well, yeah, it's got that in spades, but Fort Worth is also a city with a surprisingly sophisticated side. It's got world-class museums, a thriving art scene, and a culinary scene that'll knock your boots off.
Check out the Kimball Art Museum, home to a world-renowned collection of art from across the globe. Or head over to the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth for a dose of contemporary masterpieces.
And for a night out on the town, head to Sundance Square. This vibrant entertainment district is packed with restaurants, bars, theaters, and live music venues.
So yeah, Fort Worth might be known for its cowboy culture, but it's also a city that's constantly evolving, constantly surprising visitors with its hidden depths and unexpected charms.
All right, guys, we're headed down south, deep into the heart of Texas, to a city where cultures collide and history unfolds. El Paso, Texas. This ain't your grandpappy's Texas town, though you'll find plenty of that old school charm here too. We're talking a fusion of Texan grit and Mexican zest, all under the blazing desert sun. El Paso is literally a city divided, split right down the middle by the Rio Grande, one side the US, the other Mexico. You can practically feel the energy buzzing across that river, a constant reminder that this is a place where borders blur and cultures intertwine. And this ain't no recent phenomenon either. We're talking centuries of shared history here. Native American tribes, Spanish explorers, Mexican revolutionaries and American pioneers, they've all left their mark on this city. You can feel it in the air, see it in the architecture, taste it in the food. Speaking of food, you've got to try the Tex-Mex here. Forget what you think you know about Tex-Mex. El Paso is on a whole other level. We're talking sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, and the most incredible salsa you'll ever put in your mouth. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you.
Now, El Paso isn't all about tacos and tequila, though those are definitely major perks. This city also boasts some seriously stunning natural beauty. I'm talking about the Franklin Mountains, a majestic mountain range that rises up from the desert floor right on the edge of the city. We're talking breathtaking views, challenging trails, and a chance to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. I laced up my boots, grabbed my trusty backpack, and hit the trails. The air was crisp, the sun was shining, and the views were absolutely killer. As I hiked, I couldn't help but feel a sense of awe at the sheer scale and beauty of the landscape. These mountains have stood for centuries, silent witnesses to the ebb and flow of history. They've seen it all, from the arrival of the first settlers to the growth of the modern city. And standing there on that mountaintop, overlooking the city below, I felt a sense of connection, not just to the history of El Paso, but to the raw, untamed spirit of the West.
Now, when you think of Texas history, the Alamo probably springs to mind, but El Paso has its own share of historical gems, and one of the most fascinating is the McGoffin Home State Historic Site. This place is like stepping back in time to the 19th century. Built in 1875, this beautifully preserved adobe home was once the center of El Paso society. James McGoffin, a successful merchant and former U.S. consul to Mexico, and his wife Juana, a prominent Mexican woman, hosted countless gatherings here, bringing together people from all walks of life. As I wandered through the rooms, I could practically hear the echoes of laughter, music, and lively conversation. The home is a treasure trove of artifacts and furnishings, each piece whispering stories of a bygone era. You can almost picture the McGoffins entertaining guests in the elegant parlor, the scent of Mrs. McGoffin's famous bizcochito cookies wafting from the kitchen. But the McGoffin home is more than just a beautiful house. It's a symbol of the unique cultural blend that defines El Paso.
All right, guys, we've talked about El Paso's history, its culture, and its natural beauty. But no trip to this city is complete without experiencing the electric atmosphere of a Sun Bowl game. We're talking about one of the oldest and most prestigious bowl games in college football, a clash of titans that draws in fans from all over the country. Imagine this. It's a crisp December day, the sun is shining, the band is playing, and the stands are packed with screaming fans, decked out in their team colors. The energy is palpable, the excitement is contagious, and the atmosphere is pure electricity. As the players take the field, the roar of the crowd is deafening. The game is a nail-biter, a back-and-forth battle that keeps everyone on the edge of their seats. Touchdowns are met with thunderous applause, interceptions with groans of despair. The Sun Bowl is more than just a game, it's an experience. It's about the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, and the shared passion for the sport. It's about coming together as a community to celebrate something bigger than ourselves. It's El Paso at its finest.
All right, guys, pack your bags because we're heading to the Gulf Coast, to a place where the breeze is salty, the drinks are strong, and the history is as deep as the ocean itself. We're talking about Galveston Island, Texas, a place that's part beach town, part historic port, and all around good time. Now, Galveston has a vibe all its own. It's got that laid-back, beachy vibe you expect from a coastal town, but with a touch of elegance and a whole lot of history. This place has seen it all: hurricanes, booms, busts, and everything in between. And that history is etched into the very fabric of the city. From the grand Victorian mansions that line the Strand to the bustling port that welcomes ships from around the world, Galveston is a city that wears its past on its sleeve. But don't let the historical vibes fool you. Galveston knows how to have a good time. We're talking miles of sandy beaches, crystal clear waters, and enough seafood restaurants to satisfy even the most discerning palate.
Now, no trip to Galveston is complete without a stroll down the Strand. This historic district is like stepping back in time, with its beautifully preserved Victorian architecture, charming boutiques, and lively bars and restaurants. As I wandered down the Strand, I couldn't help but be struck by the sheer beauty and grandeur of the buildings. We're talking ornate facades, intricate ironwork, and soaring columns that transport you back to Galveston's heyday as a bustling port city. But the Strand isn't just a museum piece. It's a vibrant hub of activity. Tourists and locals mingle in the shops and restaurants, the air filled with the sounds of laughter, music, and the clatter of horse-drawn carriages. And the food scene here is off the charts. We're talking fresh-caught seafood, sizzling steaks, and enough craft breweries to keep you hydrated all day long. Whether you're in the mood for a romantic dinner for two or a casual lunch with friends, the Strand has something for everyone.
All right, guys, let's talk about something that'll get your adrenaline pumping: the Galveston Island Historic Pleasure Pier. This ain't your average amusement park. We're talking about a pier that stretches out over the Gulf of Mexico, offering breathtaking views, heart-stopping rides, and enough carnival games to bankrupt even the most skilled player. As I stepped onto the pier, I was greeted by the sounds of laughter, screams, and the smell of popcorn and cotton candy. The atmosphere was electric, with families strolling along the boardwalk, couples sharing cotton candy, and groups of friends challenging each other to win prizes at the ring toss. And the rides, man, the rides. We're talking roller coasters that twist and turn high above the water, a Ferris wheel that offers panoramic views of the island, and a free fall that'll have you screaming your lungs out. But even if you're not an adrenaline junkie, the Pleasure Pier is worth a visit. The views from the pier are absolutely stunning, especially at sunset when the sky transforms into a kaleidoscope of colors.
Now, if you're lucky enough to be in Galveston in February, you're in for a real treat. Mardi Gras. Forget New Orleans, Galveston knows how to throw a party. We're talking about weeks of parades, balls, and celebrations that culminate in a massive street party that takes over the entire Strand district. Imagine this. The streets are packed with people, dressed in every color of the rainbow. Beads are flying through the air, music is blaring from every storefront, and the smell of Cajun food fills the air. It's a sensory overload in the best possible way. I got caught up in the energy of the crowd, dancing in the streets, catching beads, and just soaking up the atmosphere. It was a whirlwind of color, music, and pure joy. Mardi Gras in Galveston is about letting loose, having fun, and celebrating life. It's a chance to forget your worries and just enjoy the moment.
All right, guys, we're heading inland to the heart of Texas Hill Country, to a place where you can sip award-winning wines, stroll through fields of wildflowers, and experience a taste of Germany without ever leaving the Lone Star State. We're talking about Fredericksburg, Texas, a town that's bursting with charm, history, and a whole lot of German heritage. Now, Fredericksburg is one of those towns that surprises you. You come for the German heritage, and you stay for the incredible food, the award-winning wineries, and the laid-back vibe that makes you want to kick off your shoes and stay a while. This town was founded by German settlers back in the 1840s, and that heritage is still very much alive today. From the architecture to the food to the festivals, Fredericksburg offers a unique glimpse into the history of German immigration in Texas. But don't let the quaint exterior fool you. Fredericksburg is a town that knows how to have a good time. We're talking live music, festivals galore, and enough wineries to keep you tasting for days.
Now, just outside of Fredericksburg lies a natural wonder that'll take your breath away: Enchanted Rock State Natural Area. We're talking about a massive pink granite dome that rises up from the earth, offering stunning views, challenging hikes, and a chance to connect with nature. As I approached Enchanted Rock, I couldn't help but feel a sense of awe at the sheer scale of it. This massive dome has been a sacred site for Native Americans for centuries, and it's easy to see why. I laced up my hiking boots and started the climb to the summit. The trail was steep and rocky in places, but the views from the top were worth every step. From the summit, I could see for miles in every direction, the rolling hills of the Texas Hill Country stretching out before me. And the energy up there was incredible. You could feel the history of the place, the stories whispered by the wind, the echoes of the past. It was a truly humbling experience.
All right, guys, it's time to talk about something near and dear to my heart: wine. And no trip to Fredericksburg is complete without a visit to one of the many award-winning wineries that dot the countryside. We're talking about rolling vineyards, picturesque tasting rooms, and some of the best wines in the state. From bold reds to crisp whites, Fredericksburg has something to tantalize every palate. I spent an afternoon hopping from winery to winery, sampling different vintages, chatting with winemakers, and just soaking up the relaxed atmosphere. It was the perfect way to unwind after a long day of exploring. And the best part? Many of the wineries offer stunning views of the surrounding countryside, so you can sip on a delicious glass of wine while enjoying the beauty of the Texas Hill Country.
All right, guys, if you're looking for a party, look no further than Fredericksburg's Oktoberfest. We're talking about a celebration of all things German, with Oompa bands, traditional dances, and enough beer and bratwurst to satisfy even the most discerning appetite. The town comes alive during Oktoberfest, with decorations adorning every storefront and the streets filled with people dressed in traditional German attire. It's a sight to behold. I donned my best lederhosen and joined the festivities, dancing in the streets, sipping on ice-cold beer, and indulging in my fair share of bratwurst and pretzels. It was a blast from the past, a taste of Germany right here in the heart of Texas. Oktoberfest in Fredericksburg is a celebration of heritage, culture, and good old-fashioned fun. It's an event that brings the community together and reminds us of the joy of shared traditions.
All right, guys, we're heading down south to the Gulf Coast, to a city that's all about that beach life, Corpus Christi. Known as the sparkling city by the sea, this place is a haven for anyone who loves the ocean, sunny skies, and just chilling out. I'm talking miles of pristine beaches, dude. The kind where you just want to kick back, soak up the sun, and forget about everything else. And trust me, there's plenty of that here. Whether you're into swimming, surfing, fishing, or just building sandcastles like we used to back in the day, Corpus Christi has got you covered. Plus, the vibe here is just so laid back and friendly, you know? It's the kind of place where you can just be yourself and enjoy the simple things in life. But don't let that chill atmosphere fool you. Corpus Christi's got a lot more going on than meets the eye. We're talking a rich history, a vibrant arts and culture scene, and some seriously delicious seafood. I'm already craving some fresh Gulf shrimp grilled to perfection. So let's dive into what makes Corpus Christi such a gem, shall we? Buckle up, because this coastal city is about to blow you away.
So, Corpus Christi's got a history as deep as the Gulf waters it sits on. Founded way back in 1839, this place has seen it all. Spanish explorers, pirates, you name it. It's wild to think about all the stories these streets could tell. And speaking of stories, you gotta check out the USS Lexington, a massive World War II aircraft carrier that's now a floating museum. Walking those decks, man, it's like taking a step back in time. You can practically feel the history all around you. It's humbling, you know? And then there's the Texas State Aquarium, home to over 5,000 creatures from across the globe. From sharks and sea turtles to exotic fish and coral reefs, it's like taking a deep dive into another world. You can spend hours just getting lost in the underwater wonders. And let's not forget about the Corpus Christi Museum of Science and History, where you can learn all about the region's past. From its indigenous roots to its role in the Texas Revolution, trust me, you'll walk away with a whole new appreciation for this city's rich and diverse heritage.
Now let's talk about what really draws people to Corpus Christi, those gorgeous beaches. I'm talking miles and miles of soft, white sand, crystal clear waters, and that warm Gulf breeze. Whether you're looking to catch some rays, take a dip in the ocean, or just relax with a good book, there's a beach here for you. For families, Mustang Island is the place to be. It's got gentle waves, plenty of space to spread out, and even wild horses roaming the shores. Yeah, you heard that right, wild horses. How cool is that? And for those who want to escape the crowds, head south to Padre Island National Seashore. This 70-mile stretch of undeveloped coastline is a nature lover's paradise, with dunes, grasslands, and even nesting grounds for sea turtles. Seeing those little guys hatch and make their way to the ocean is an experience you won't soon forget. Trust me, it's moments like those that make you realize how precious and beautiful life really is.
Okay, so we've covered the beaches, the history, the wildlife, but Corpus Christi's got even more up its sleeve. This city has a thriving arts and culture scene that'll surprise you. Start with the Art Center of Corpus Christi, a hub for local artists showcasing everything from paintings and sculptures to photography and mixed media. You can feel the creative energy buzzing through the air, you know? And for a taste of the performing arts, check out a show at the Harbor Playhouse, a historic theater that's been entertaining audiences for over 90 years. They've got everything from Broadway musicals to local productions, so there's something for everyone. And speaking of entertainment, you can't miss Buccaneer Days, Corpus Christi's annual pirate festival. I'm talking parades, fireworks, live music, and even a pirate ship invasion. It's a blast. The energy is infectious, and it's a great way to experience the city's fun-loving spirit. Corpus Christi, you've officially won me over. You're a hidden gem on the Texas coast, and I can't wait to come back and explore even more of what you have to offer.
All right, guys, we're wrapping up our Texas adventure in Waco, a city that's been through a lot but has come out stronger than ever. You see, Waco used to be known mainly for a tragic event that happened back in the 90s. But trust me, this city has so much more to offer than its past. Over the last few years, Waco has transformed itself into a vibrant hub for foodies, history buffs, and anyone looking for that authentic Texas charm. It's a city that's reinventing itself, and I gotta say, they're doing an incredible job. I mean, where else can you find a world-class museum dedicated to the history of soft drinks? Only in Waco, my friends, only in Waco. But seriously, Waco's got something for everyone. From its rich history and charming downtown to its booming food scene and outdoor adventures, this city is full of surprises. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the heart of Texas and discover what makes Waco so special.
To truly understand Waco, you gotta dig into its history. Start at the Waco Mammoth National Monument, where you can see the fossilized remains of a herd of Columbian mammoths. These prehistoric giants roamed this land thousands of years ago, and it's mind-blowing to think about the history beneath our feet. It's like stepping back in time, you know? And speaking of history, no trip to Waco is complete without a visit to the Texas Ranger Hall of Fame and Museum. These legendary lawmen have been a symbol of Texas justice for over 200 years, and their stories are full of adventure, courage, and grit. You'll see their iconic Stetson hats, their trusty revolvers, and learn about their role in shaping Texas history. It's like stepping into an old Western movie, only this time, it's real. And for a glimpse into Waco's agricultural past, check out the historic Waco Farmers Market. Held every Saturday, this bustling market is a feast for the senses, with fresh produce, local honey, handmade crafts, and live music. It's a great place to mingle with the locals, grab a bite to eat, and experience the true spirit of Waco.
Okay, let's talk about what Waco is perhaps best known for these days. Magnolia Market at the Silos. Created by Chip and Joanna Gaines of the hit TV show Fixer Upper, this place is a mecca for home decor enthusiasts, DIY fanatics, and anyone who loves a good farmhouse aesthetic. I mean, come on, who doesn't love Chip and Joanna? They've single-handedly put Waco on the map, and their passion for the city is contagious. You can browse their signature home goods, grab a bite to eat at one of the food trucks, or just soak up the lively atmosphere. And while you're in the area, don't miss the Waco Suspension Bridge. Built in 1870, this historic bridge was once a vital link on the Chisholm Trail, and today, it's a reminder of Waco's pioneering spirit. Take a stroll across the bridge, enjoy the views of the Brazos River, and imagine the countless cattle drives that once crossed this very spot. It's moments like these that make you appreciate the history all around us, you know?
Now, you might not think of Waco as an adventure destination, but trust me, you'd be surprised. For outdoor enthusiasts, Cameron Park is a must-visit. This sprawling park boasts over 400 acres of lush greenery, scenic trails for hiking and biking, and breathtaking views of the Brazos River. It's the perfect place to escape the city buzz and reconnect with nature. And if you're looking for a thrill, check out Waco Surf, a man-made wave pool where you can catch some waves without ever leaving town. That's right, surfing in Waco, Texas. Who would have thought? But that's the thing about Waco, it's full of surprises. From its historical landmarks and charming downtown, to its unexpected adventures and booming food scene, this city has something to offer everyone. Waco, you've officially won me over with your resilience, your charm, and your ability to constantly reinvent yourself.
And that's a wrap on our Texas adventure, folks. From the bustling streets of Austin to the sunny beaches of Corpus Christi and the revitalized spirit of Waco, we've covered some serious ground. I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted in the best way possible. We've explored history, embraced culture, and tasted some seriously delicious food along the way. Texas, you've outdone yourself. Your cities are as diverse as your landscape, each with its own unique charm and character. I hope this journey has inspired you to add a few more Texas destinations to your travel bucket list. And hey, if you've already been to some of these places, let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. Thanks for joining me on this epic Texas road trip. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more travel adventures, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep on keeping on. Peace out.